Do you remember Mr. Rogers? Is it a beautiful day in the neighborhood? Well, Danny and I were just talking about Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. And how are you doing today, Danny? This is the Existential Stoic podcast. I'm Randy. That's Danny. How are you doing today, Danny?
I'm doing well. Yeah, we were just talking about that movie with Tom Hanks and just our joy of Mr. Rogers. It was a great show, though. It was. I really did enjoy that show. Not that this episode's about that, but still, it was a good show.
Yeah, he's been in some really good. There was also another one like My Name is Otis or something like that. He did some other movie that was really good. Crazy good actor. Anyways.
He does, yeah. Tom Hanks does all serious stuff now. I do
Hmm.
miss his comedies. Like I watched Big again recently, which was like such a good movie, and like Turner and
Yeah.
Hooch and stuff. And he
Oh, dude,
doesn't
yeah.
do stuff like that anymore, which kind of bums me out because I did like him as as a
Hmm.
comedy actor. He's good.
Taking
Yeah.
on a serious role. So today we're just going to be kind of spitballing, so they say.
I mean, which is, you know, not that
Yeah,
different from
it's a
all the
good old
time.
way to do it. Sometimes you
Yeah.
can find out a little bit more about us, maybe relate to us as human beings, as opposed to just these two woke ass MFers who are just
Yeah.
like so enlightened and you should buy our courses and everything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once we
So
get those
Danny,
out there,
what's going on in your life?
just busy, man. You know, it's like, I've had the weirdest feeling, and I've been having this recently where like time feels like it's going by so fast and so slow simultaneously. And like I've always struggled, like my perception of time's never been great. I always have a hard time with it, like knowing how long things are and stuff. And
Yeah.
like it's just bizarre. Like I feel like I feel the weeks going by so quickly, but then like I'll look and it seems like slow. I don't know, too. Does that make sense? Am I making
Hmm.
sense?
Hmm.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, I feel you because like I think that part of like the pace, the speed of life getting faster makes the slower times more painful. Because
Maybe, yeah.
because
Yeah.
we're doing stuff so much and so quickly that when there's actually like a free moment, instead of just relaxing, we're like,
Well,
come on, why is nothing
yeah.
happening?
Yeah, that's what's been killing me, right? Because like this weekend was Memorial Day, and so I was like, well, I'm taking a day off, because the one day, like I was like, I should take a day off, and like 3 hours into it, I'm like, what should I do? Like I don't know what to do with myself,
Uh-huh.
and it's like, and it's funny because like why? And I asked myself that too, like in the middle of the day, I was like, why do I even feel like I need to do anything? Like nothing I do today, like granted, like I'm not going to just stop working every day, but like it's not going to make that much of a difference this day. One, it's a holiday, everybody else is off anyway. But two,
Hmm.
like that one day of progress is not gonna make that much of a difference. Why am I so worried about it? Like what am I worried about missing? And it's like I don't even know how to answer that question. That's the other weird thing. Like like what am I afraid of missing? Answer me,
I'm
Randy. Tell me.
Dude, I'm right there with you because I keep thinking that what I'm actually doing is going to make any difference at all. That,
It's
it
not.
might make some inconsequential difference. But when you think about it, really, in like the sun death of the universe, not going to make any difference.
Okay.
In the scope of the planets and everything and all the other universes out there, not going to make a big difference.
Yeah, we're never gonna make a difference in this. I never, that's another thing I never understood is people seem to want to make this huge, impactful difference in the world when you can't. Like
Hmm.
the only difference it's like I never understood this because like, the only thing it's going to affect is my life, and that's why I do anything is because I want to improve my life. But I never thought about like a legacy or anything. I don't under. There's nothing to be left. Nothing matters after I die. Nothing to
Hmm.
me at least. And so it's like, is it like ego or something that you want to like, or is it fear of death or what? Because like I don't know. It's weird.
Dude, it's kind of interesting because like every once in a while I'll have these thoughts like, well, but what happens if there's some like freak accident? I get hit by a bus or like, fall off some
Yeah.
building. And then like, how does this impact other people's lives? But then it's like, well, in the big scope of things, it really doesn't. Like, but there's
Yeah.
this it's the crazy mind just going nuts thinking like I'm so important. I've been
I
the center
know.
of my
Right?
own universe for as long as I've been alive. I'm clearly the center of all universes.
Yeah. It is weird though. It's a weird feeling to have. And it's very like it's so egotistical, right? That like I should
Hmm.
be so important that I should matter to everybody. And like because what's funny is even like people that you would think would, Like Jeff Bezos, like the people that have so much influence, they're still gonna die and days are gonna move on and things are going to go back to normal and like, they won't be noticed. Look at Steve
But
Jobs when he died. Did anybody talk about it
exactly.
after the next day? No. Did Apple fall apart? No. Like,
Yeah, but like people still worship him, but it doesn't matter because he's dead. And like he can't enjoy any experiences in life anymore because he's freaking dead. And
yeah,
it's just like that's gonna happen to all of us.
yeah. It's a crazy, crazy, it's a weird thing to wrap your head around too, because like it's like, all we know is existence. I think about that a lot too, like, like, well, like that before you're born or before you're conscious, what do you remember? And it's like nothing. So like, is that it? That's just gonna be it then? Nothing. And it's like, so if that's the case, what's the Epicurus said, right? He said like, when the soul and body basically like he thought they were made of atoms. So when you die, the soul dissipates and the body dissipates. They're just composite things, right? So they turn back into their component parts. And he said, so there's nothing to fear in death because there's nothing to sense. So there's no emotions, there's no sense of pain, no pleasure, there's nothing to sense. There is no sense. So there's no
Hmm.
sense in wearing, right? Because there's no sense of self.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like it's crazy because I think about that too. Like my grandparents have all died. And I think about like I sometimes think like what that must have been like to die. Because it's crazy because they were here and then they're not. And it's just and the
Yeah.
world goes on. But
That's
like
what's
that must have
strange
been
too.
such an experience for them.
Yeah, well, because like, I mean, it does make sense in the sense that you were just saying, like, we're like, we're used to experiencing the world from our own perspective, right? I'm the subject. So it's like you're the star of the thing. And so when you die, it's like it is weird. It's like, is it the realization that like, no, you weren't, you were just a bit player and like the show goes on or what? Yeah, that is weird. It's very strange. Life is weird. It just
Yeah.
gets weirder the more you think about it too, I think. That's the problem.
Hmm. Well, it is just a whole bunch of paradoxes. Like
Because
everything
we
seems
make
like a
up,
paradox.
because everything's made up by us. So it is a paradox because it's all just bullshit.
So I was thinking about that the other day with like studying because I literally like study until my brain just doesn't function anymore and then I stop. And I was like, this is the craziest paradox because I'm quitting to not quit. Like I'm
Yeah.
quitting studying so that I don't quit studying. But it's just like, yeah, everything's a paradox, man.
Everything is a paradox. It's very
And clearly
difficult.
blanket statements are always true.
Yeah. Wild generalizations and blanket statements are my favorite kind of knowledge.
Totally. And if it rhymes, it's got to be true.
That's always the case. Yeah. Well,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Dude,
that's
so
crazy.
I've been dealing with a lot of anger. And I
I've
think
heard
yeah, I think well I think talking about it is good because when I grew up,
it
anger
is
was not
good.
allowed. It was like strictly like you like repress that stuff until it causes you bodily harm.
So you have a
That
heart
was the
attack and
rule.
die, and then you're
Yeah,
not angry anymore.
that was
Yeah.
the rule. But like, so like by experiencing anger, I also think it's partially because I've been lifting weights a lot and uh I got my testosterone checked and it's on like the very high end of normal. So like maybe there's some ramifications from just high testosterone causing
There
it.
could be. Yeah.
But uh so there's that. But also I listened to something earlier where it was saying that like, some people like myself have a hard time dealing with anger because we fear we fear getting out of control or we fear that those people we care about will like reject us because we're being angry. And like
Which
that's
makes
something,
sense. Yeah.
dude, I was talking with a friend earlier today. This was one who we were talking about being old men, and I was complaining about some of the stuff that makes me angry. And I could tell that he was like getting a little bit off put that I was actually verbalizing that I get angry. And I was like, this is the exact feeling. Like it's not appropriate to be angry. Like it's an emotion.
But see, this is the problem I think we have so much. We put so many things in boxes that we can't even talk about them that I think it's just stupid. Because we're all people. Everybody has the same set of, I mean, everybody has similar experiences. So what, like, I always love that. It's like you've never gotten mad ever. Really, really, you've never been angry. Like you don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Come on, dude.
I love what you
Like,
used to say, like, since when has anger ever helped me or whatever?
yeah.
Ever done anything good?
Well, it's funny. Like,
Yeah.
I don't actually get angry that much at all, really. I rarely ever do. But at the same time, like, I also think it's a natural thing. Like, why wouldn't you talk about it? Like, I hope you tell me
Yeah.
when you get angry because, like, it happens. Like, I get
Yeah.
frustrated by stuff all the time. I do. Like, it's, it is natural. I don't think there's any, but that's the sad part. Like, we can't even talk about these things because we put so many boxes around everything. This is what Nietzsche
Hmm.
says, like that internalization, right? Like, if you don't give those drives expression externally, they're going to get expressed inward. It's going to turn into guilt or like, mental illness or whatever, or some kind of problem because you're taking the stuff out on yourself rather than, which is not to say that you
Hmm.
should like, if somebody does something, you should immediately like just sock them in the face either.
Hmm.
Obviously, like he thought like you should find healthy ways to express it. And I think that's the trick is like, how do you find a healthy way to express your anger? Is it going to the gym? Is it like doing something,
Well,
taking that
dude, so
energy and putting
it's
it into
been
more
super
studying?
helpful. It's been super helpful with lifting because I just get all of it out then. But I
Yeah,
also use it as like a prompt for journaling because I noticed that like I think a lot of this anger comes from repressed anger and stuff from my childhood. And so
good.
like
Yeah,
actually using it as journal prompts to kind of get it out. And sometimes when I'm doing that, I do feel like literally like I'll like exhale like a deep sigh and I'll just feel
well,
like
that's good.
something let go. So I think I think it's been helpful.
My one brother used to have anger issues, and I know he would do like a meditation type breathing thing, and he used to imagine like it was like he would imagine like taking good energy or air
Mm.
in, and like
Hmm.
exhaling all that frustration and anger to like calm himself
Yeah.
down. It was a good method. It worked. Yeah, kind of like count.
Hmm.
When people say like you stop and count or something, like
Yeah.
any of that to like reset your
Yeah.
brain.
Dude, and actually I'm looking forward to it because when I'm done with this studying stuff that I'm doing for the next like 8 weeks or whatever, I'm gonna do some boxing, and I've heard that's really good for getting out some anger. So yeah, that'll be fun.
That is actually boxing is very good. It also wears you out. Yeah,
Dude, I remember when we had the little fight club.
yeah, that was great.
We like knocked ourselves retarded for a
My
couple of weeks.
God, it's bad. I know. It really does make you like have a hard. I don't know how boxers do it and like function in the world, dude. Like getting hit like that all the time. Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's one thing to take boxing classes. You're like fighting a bag, Like, oh my God. It really
Yeah.
does make you feel dumb. Like it's
We
weird
were
how
in
it
a
messes up
stupor
your.
for like two
I
weeks. It
mean,
was
it
crazy.
was
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah, we had to
Yeah.
stop.
All thanks to that movie Fight Club.
Yeah, it was fun. And
Dude,
we even
at
got
least
gear.
we had gloves. At least we had gloves and like face masks.
Yeah.
Could you
Oh
imagine if we
God.
did like a bare knuckle type thing? Holy
No,
cow.
I don't like to
Yeah.
get hurt that much, so no.
Yeah. Me neither.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird though. It is crazy. Life's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. But I've been also it's the what I've been trying to do is, and I haven't been doing this very successfully, is taking more time to relax.
Yeah, it's hard. I've
It's
been
like
trying to
no
do that
joke.
more. I've
Yeah.
been trying to do that more recently, and it's very hard, dude. It's really hard. I don't get it. I have such a
Like
hard
what you were
time.
mentioning earlier with like when is enough and everything. I'm like no joke a workaholic. Like if it if it's not if it's not actually like doing work, it's reading about the same subject or it's just thinking about it and it's just like
Well, I was thinking
I
about that
have
the
these
other day
like
too, and feeling anxious because you're not doing it,
hmm
or like getting on your own case because you're not doing it. It's like because you took a break. I've been feeling that way too. And like I have a couple good weeks where I feel like things are going well. I'm like, yeah, I'm not on myself for it. And then like it's immediately switches back on. And it's like I don't know how to turn. And like because I feel like if I get too comfortable taking breaks, I'll lose all my momentum. And like then I just won't
hmm
do anything. Which is stupid
yeah.
probably, but like,
We should start a Workaholics Anonymous 12-step program.
you should, right?
Probably.
You
Yeah.
just ask for,
I mean it's only a matter of time.
yeah, eventually it's gonna happen to you because you can't. Well, it's like it's a catch 22 too, because like I love what a lot of what I do. So it's like it's also the things I would do in my downtime anyway, and that makes it hard because it's like I don't want to spend. It's
Mm,
also doing. It's also like we don't punch a clock, so it's like it's on our own time. So it's like
yeah,
you're always at work. Essentially, it's crazy. Yeah.
true. You make a good point because this is essentially what I've been dreaming about doing since I was a kid. So like, yeah, I guess.
Part of it,
This
no, part of it is that because I do like I notice like I don't push stuff off as much because like I enjoy doing it. So like I'm excited to sit down. So like, but it does feel weird because like I do. There are days where I don't want to do anything, but then I still feel bad about not doing anything. And it's like,
yeah.
yeah,
It's just funny because like the things that are my hobbies are now seeming like a struggle. Like it's hard to get me to play video games, or it's hard to get me to
Yeah,
read a book, or it's
yeah.
hard to get me to paint little miniatures, or whatever else it is. Like it's actually a struggle to do the things that are my hobbies.
Dude, I've been
That's
having a
freaking
hard time
crazy.
getting, like, I've been reading this one book and I've been having the hardest time getting through it. And it's not that it's not a good book. I just haven't been able to focus when I'm reading. It's like weird. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. It's crazy how it happens. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's good to be aware. I think it's always better to be aware of these things than not, though. Because at least then we can keep trying to take steps to like slowly improve on it, rather than just
Hmm.
not. Because that's what I'm always afraid of is leaning all into it and then just like waking up one day and like all I've done is worked for like years. You know what I mean? And like
Yeah.
everything else
I
is
think,
falling apart.
I sometimes have these thoughts that kind of like, because we're putting so much focus and attention on these certain things. And it's like, sometimes I worry, I'm like, am I going to regret doing this at the end of my life? But then I think back to the end of my life and I'm like, if I spent my life doing this, then it was a darn good life. So
Yeah, I mean,
what
I
the
think that
hell?
all the
Throw
time because like,
caution to the wind.
well, there's time. No, I agree with you. There's times where like, especially like the project we've been working on with like your brother and stuff. Like, I feel like I'm like this takes so much effort, but then it's like I also really like doing it. So it's like, you know what? Would I regret? No, even if it doesn't end up being what I hope it will be, I still won't regret it because at least we tried it. And like, I think that's
Hmm.
also a really good thing. It's just
Hmm.
tough because I think it is like finding something you love. You also just want to do it all the time. And it's like, which is cool. It's also just bad too because it's like,
Hmm.
yeah,
And I feel like there's always so many people telling you what's right and what's wrong and what you should do and what you shouldn't do. And it's just like, just want to shut these people up and just
well,
smack
they
them.
don't know either. That's the
Yeah.
truth. They
Yeah.
have no idea either, so it doesn't matter. Just don't
Yeah.
listen to me.
I know. People are
Well,
freaking nuts.
listen to me because I know.
Yeah,
But
clearly
yeah,
we're the wokest guys ever. Gosh, the whole
I know it's
woke
right.
culture is crazy.
It's all the world's nuts. It is. There's too
Yeah.
much information at all times. You
Hmm. I
can't
know. We
process
were
it.
just meant to live in small little clans, very separate from each other, and just, you know,
But everybody has a task and a role and a function, and it feels good. You know what I mean? Like even
yeah.
the town lunatic or whatever has purpose. It's like now
Yeah.
it's like we don't have that.
I find it so interesting how, like, both simultaneously there's arguments that the world is overpopulated and that there's an underpopulation problem. I'm
Yeah.
like,
How is
there's
that
clearly
possible?
something wrong with our
Yeah.
information. Yeah.
You know what's crazy? Do you know what's funny? I read this is totally way off topic, but I read this the other day. Did you know there used to be a guy, and it was somebody who owned a watch that they would get hired by people to wake them up, and they would walk around town with a stick and just poke their windows at like
The
6 a.m. to wake them
Watchman.
up for work. Yeah,
Oh, the Watchman.
yeah, yeah.
That's
That's funny. It
crazy.
was like a whole job. I was like, that's crazy. So you get up at like go around your windows, hit the window, get paid
That's
like
freaking
whatever, a
crazy.
hay penny or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
I
like, that's cool.
know. It's hard to imagine there was a time before time.
Yeah, right? Like when one person in town had a clock or one person in like your
Or
district.
when it just didn't exist.
Yeah,
Like
you
you
just
just
run off.
woke up when when the cows needed to be milked or whatever, and you went to. I heard, yeah. I sometimes try and like I had this thought this week because I heard it somewhere where like you know uh oh yeah, farmers don't get that upset about getting stuff done because they know that the cows are always going to need to be milked, and this is clearly before like the
Yeah,
electronic milkers and everything. But like you can't milk a cow all the way in one day. And that's what I'm trying to do with studying and with work
yeah,
and with everything. Like I'm trying to milk the whole entire cow today. And
yeah.
I just try and imagine that. Like, come on, let's get it all out
We need your
today.
lifetime production now. We're not waiting. Let's go. Yeah, you just the cow just shrivels up. Going. No.
Uh,
Yeah. It is well, no, that's a really good way to think about it, though. I like that because like that's exactly what I feel like I'm trying to do all the time is like get
yeah.
all of it out at once. And it's like, well, you can't. That doesn't work. You know, it's funny. I think about that, dude. Back in the day, we had such a better relationship, I think, probably with death and with like time because people
Hmm.
died constantly. So like that was
Yeah.
like, I mean, that was like,
Life was the abnormality back then.
yeah, literally, dude, literally, it was like the average.
You're like,
And
you're
on,
alive? Oh my goodness.
and you have a skill, like
Yeah.
what? Yeah, but like I think that there was just a different sense of like Or maybe they're, I don't know. It's so funny because you also read too, like, whenever a new form of communication came out, people worried that it was too fast. Like when the printing press came out, they were worried like information was flying around, and that was books, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's just interesting because like I think we run into the same problems over and over again because we keep advancing, but like we don't adapt. We're very slow. So it's like I think that's always been the issue with humans. It's like we, from a culture standpoint, we're way ahead of like the more biological standpoint. They're out of
Hmm.
sync. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna this whole like anxiety epidemic is going to
Well,
turn out
that's just
pretty
it.
interesting.
Yeah. Like how many people have anxiety, depression, everything? Because it's just too much information, I think. We're not meant to deal with this stuff.
Hmm.
It's too fast paced, and if there's so much pressure put on everyone to participate in it and be part of it, you know?
Yeah. I've found it really interesting recently. Like people are blown away that I wake up early in the morning and they're like, why? And I'm like, well, because I wake up and I spend some time doing my own stuff and then I work. And they're like, but how? It's so hard to wake up early. And I'm like, let me guess, you play on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram before you go to sleep. And they're like, yeah. I was like, well,
I
there you
know.
go. You
Yeah.
probably waste like 6 hours before bed just scrolling through some BS that you can
Before
live
you know it, it's
without.
3 in the morning. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. Looking at stuff like pining over
Yeah.
products and whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I
Yeah.
am always grateful, dude, that we were in school before cell phones came out. And they came out when we were like high school. But like, because they weren't even smartphones back then. Like, you couldn't go on the internet. Like,
Hmm.
because I don't feel bad about not participating. But I could totally see how, like, kids now, probably there's so much pressure probably to participate that it's like, how could you not, you know? Like, I
Well,
could see
dude,
that.
I'm glad that back in, I think it was like 2008 when Tim Ferriss wrote the book, The 4 Hour Work Week. Like one of the first principles of that was like do a disconnect from like all social media, all news outlets, all everything. And I
Yeah.
basically since then have been totally disconnected and it's been one of the best things ever.
Because you don't need it. It's
Yeah.
you're convinced, people convince you, like, people used to say to you, like, it used when you used to get an actual physical paper. People used to say it was good to read the paper, and it was because like most of the people writing the paper had very good vocabularies, they were good writers, so you
They
would
were
learn.
educated. Yeah.
Yeah. But like now it's like the stuff you're reading, it's not, it's so pumped out so fast. Like people aren't working, like that was
And
back when people used to
it's
work on
just
stories for,
entertainment.
yeah, they would work on these like investigative stories and stuff for weeks, or even when they wrote like about like the dog show in town, it was well written. Like now it's just,
Hmm.
I find errors in everything that I read now. It's like
Pumped
ridiculous.
out
It's
as
just
fast
pumped
as
out.
possible. A
It's
large
quantity
majority
over
of it is just
quality.
AI.
Yeah. It's like just, yeah, made up, like totally. Yeah.
Hmm.
It's crazy. But that
Yeah.
pendulum hopefully will swing back, right?
Hmm.
We'll see.
We'll see. We will see
Time
if
will
it's
tell.
done swinging. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
once it's done.
yeah. So, whatever the heck the topic was, how are you doing?
I'm doing all
I think that
right.
was the topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you
Good.
today?
Yeah. Yeah. Otherwise, doing pretty well.
Good.
Life's good. It's got its
Yeah.
challenges, but it's got its blessings.
It does have a lot of blessings. That's the nice
Hmm.
part. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, so that's all for this episode of the Existential Stoic podcast. If you haven't had enough, like you're one of the three people who are still listening, well, guess what? There's a whole bunch more episodes. I think we have like 600 some episodes out there already.
Wait, well, it's
That,
because we have like almost 400.
oh, I think we
We
have
have
almost
like,
400 episodes out there.
it's because YouTube got rid of YouTube
I know. What did
podcast, Google
YouTube do?
Podcast.
They just
They
doubled
got
the
rid of Google.
videos.
Yeah, they got rid of Google Podcasts, and they were like, "Well, connect it to your YouTube channel, then it's a podcast." I was like, "Okay," so I did that, and then all it did was it made an audio video for every bit. So now we just double. I was like, "Great, thanks."
Okay.
Whatever.
Well, anyways, there's tons of other content you can both listen and watch.
And do it simultaneously, apparently.
Yep. And like, leave a good review, all that fun stuff. But it's a pleasure having you guys around. We're glad that you do join us
Always
when
is.
you do.
Mhm.
And this is the Existential Stoic Podcast. I'm Randy. That's Danny. I'll see you later, Danny.
Later, Andy.